So there's no way for me to accurately describe what happened out here without making this an R-rated NC-17 type of walk and talk. I mean, if I told you going into the game that Arkansas is going to play Texas A&M's backup quarterback, they're going to win the turnover battle 3-1. It's going to include a pick six and a fumble deep in Texas A&M territory. They're going to have 0 penalties. Cam Little's going to kick a 50-yard field goal and a 52-yard field goal. And then I end that with and they just got the crap kicked out of them. Dominated in every single facet of the game. I mean, dominated. Like, you couldn't even really tell if they had good plays called because the offensive line got whipped so bad in this one. I mean, just every single play. There was a time where there was like nine series in a row where Arkansas didn't get a first down. I think it ended with that 48-yard pass to Andrew Armstrong, which before that, KJ, from the end of the first quarter, he was 2 of 6 passing for 0 yards until that pass there at the end of the game, which really didn't matter at that point. The game was over. I mean, this game was over real early. You could tell that Arkansas was going to lose this game very early on just by the pressure that they were getting on them. And I wonder about, like, if you know the offensive line is bad and they're going to struggle against a team like this, and then you're just doing these drop back passes and he's not even able to get the ball off. Like I say 2 of 6, but there were passing plays called. He just couldn't throw the ball. He never had any time. You can't. They put together a pretty solid roster overall. Aside from the offensive line, they're just, your veteran guys aren't playing very well at all, and your young guys just aren't ready for this action. They're just not ready for what Texas A&M has for them. And guys, it's not looking good. First of all, this team never should have lost to BYU. And then to have 11 penalties at LSU and basically lose the game in a large way because of those penalties. And then you come out into this one and you have 0, so you're capable of putting up 0 penalties, but you basically lose 2 games because you have so many of them. Just very frustrating the way this game has played out, the things that they've, this whole season, because they've got a better roster and they're just, like, it makes me question a little bit, was this the right decision to go with this offense with a third-year starting quarterback and you change up the offense so much? Like, would we be in this situation right now? And I know they struggle in short yards. We're going to get to that because, like, it'd be one thing if I was like saying, well, they should have done this or that, but you're not any good on 4th down. You're the worst 4th down team in the country, and you've proven it time and again. They are 0 for 3 this year on 4th downs. And 4th and 1, excuse me. They're 0 for 3. I mean, I've been saying all year, like, just punt the ball away. And I get you can't stop it, but, like, why are you trying to decide who's going to win the game and who's going to lose the game at the end of the second quarter, right before halftime? I mean, the game ended pretty much there. The game ended at that moment. All the momentum, anything that you would have had, it's a 16-10 game at that point. It's a 16-10 game, and we're going to decide who wins it right here by going for it in our own territory on 4th and 1 because we suck at 4th and 1. And not even why is the conversation whether or not KJ should be under center or not? First of all, you can't argue that he shouldn't have been under center. You can't, because it hasn't worked over and over again when they've tried it. And you can't argue that they should have gone for it, because they shouldn't. They've proven that they can't get it done at the goal line over and over again. Not that they had those opportunities, but if Andrew Armstrong had been short there, he wasn't going to get it. They weren't going to score a touchdown. They were going to get stopped at the goal line, just like they have over and over again. They have got to reevaluate a lot of things. And guys, Ole Miss is next in Oxford, and then in Alabama. I mean, like, barring a miracle, and maybe you can get some offense going against Ole Miss and win in a shootout or something, but I certainly wouldn't count it. And this game played out, the way I picked this game, and I'd been saying all week, like, why am I coming to Arlington? Why am I coming here again? I told myself last time I wasn't coming here. This building has been awful for Arkansas football. It's been awful for them. They are 1-11 against Texas A&M. 3 of the games haven't been played here since Texas A&M joined the league in 2012. And it's like if they play them well, then, and like they outplay Texas A&M, then they figure out something happens, some fluke play happens, and they end up beating them. And if they don't outplay them, then they just get the crap kicked out of them. And that's been the narrative every single year. Some fluke play when Arkansas outplays them, and if they don't, they just get obliterated. And that's what happened here today. 34-22 isn't even close. It's not even close. And then on top of it, Luke has a broken clavicle, your best offensive weapon. Finally get Rocket Sanders back. I mean, it's just like, can you get any more unlucky? Like, on top of it, you're unlucky. But you can't get anything going on offense as long as the offensive line just can't give you any protection. And it's not just offensive line. There's other players that are in charge of blocking, obviously. You know, the backs haven't been great at protecting KJ either. Or KJ hasn't made the right decision sometimes. I mean, this was just getting smoked. Outcoached, outplayed, outprepared, all of the things. Every aspect in every category, except for penalties. That feels hollow. To go, God, I mean, like, how far can I throw this selfie stick right now? I feel like I could throw it to the top of this building. Then I wouldn't be able to catch my plane home. And I'm like, you know, I decided to torture myself extra. Like, and I picked the final score of this one to be 28-27 Texas A&M, because that's how it goes, right? That's how this series goes, and that's just how I'm going to pick the game until things change in this one. I'm never going to pick Arkansas to beat this team in this venue. They only have to do it one more time, but that's not how it played out. It was just total domination. I don't know what they got to do. I mean, I don't know if there's anything you can do. Like, you're in this situation where you don't have an offensive line that can protect your quarterback. You got a good quarterback. I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it before. It's not like we haven't seen them have success. They really need a win next week. And you also have to wonder, what's the psyche of this team? And we were talking to Sam Pittman afterwards, and he likes the team, and he likes, you know, that they hate losing and stuff like that. But there's a lot of problems with this group. And Ole Miss has an offense. I know they didn't look like it against Alabama. It's frustrating. And then I added a little extra. Like, I was like, how could I torture myself the most? So I got a 6:12 a.m. flight this morning. I decided to cancel the hotel room and just do this, fly, balance out the cost from staying 2 nights here in a hotel room, and just fly in and out. I'm leaving at 6:30 tonight, so I had to get up at 4:15, make this trip. I'm tired. Just, how can I torture myself the most? Just get as much torture in as possible so this game won't feel as bad, but it still does. That didn't change anything. I'm not coming next year. I'm not coming here next year. I'm not. I'm sick of this building. I'm just sick of the results of this, just time after time after time. How do you feel about it? Feel good? Great. Now, Sam's got a lot of issues right now with this team, and I mean, if they don't get things straightened out, it is year 4, people. Like, I mean, I don't have to say it. Like, you got it. It's put up or shut up, and he knows that as much as anybody out there. What sucks is they do have a roster that's pretty deep. Now, defense has really struggled. I mean, they picked it up and played better in the second half, but they didn't play very well at all to start the game out. And it feels like almost like the only way they're stopping them and can stop them is if they get a turnover. And they're probably the best team in the SEC at forcing turnovers. And that's usually a sign of a good team. Like, when Arkansas has teams that win the turnover battle, or are really good in turnovers on a season, usually they have a pretty good team. You know, the last time Arkansas had 0 penalties in a game, it wasn't a win. They got smoked in 2019 against Alabama. I almost feel like that was probably like just from a pity standpoint, like, we're just not going to call any penalties on Arkansas. Just get them out of here. Just end this massacre. 34-22, people look at that and say, oh, well, that wasn't that bad, but they didn't even have 200 yards of offense. They had 170. I mean, it was late in the game before that 48-yard pass, and they had 135 yards, 125 yards or something, 135 yards of offense. And you had those kind of things happen that you need to happen in a game like this, like not having a bunch of penalties that are killing you, getting 3 turnovers, including, I can't even remember what the other one was. I just remember the pick 6 and the fumble. And hell, Max Fletcher punted the crap out of the ball. I mean, he was, this 69-yarder, I'm on the other side, but it was on the opposite side over there, but it lands right here. It was 68 yards in the air and then went into the end zone, just barely. I don't think you were able to catch that on TV. And then he outkicked his coverage on one and probably did on another one. All right. That's it. It's over. I've managed to keep this PG. I don't even think I've reached PG-13 levels, so watch it with your kids. Let them know what Razorback football is all about. All right, everybody. This has been Trey Biddy with HawgSports.com. I don't even know if I said that. Coming to you from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, with another walk and talk. And I don't know where Arkansas goes from here. It sucks, the injuries. I hope John Morgan, it's okay. Nudie has a concussion, it sounds like, from Pittman. That's it. All right, everybody. This has been Trey Biddy with HawgSports.com. Got to go catch a flight. In and out. Should never have come in the first place. This has been Trey Biddy with HawgSports.com. We'll catch you next time.